What? If you consider my presence unnecessary, then she'll forfeit my life here. I cannot live with the shame of failing to fulfill my liege's command. Exasperated, Reno placed a hand against her forehead. Don't be ridiculous. I can't kill you. Very well. Shin drew the sword, holding the blade against his own throat. Hey, what are you doing? You wish for me to eliminate myself with my own hands. What are you saying? Won't fall for this. Reno examined him warily, but there was no hint of hesitation in Shin's eyes. He seemed truly prepared to end his own life. Okay, get it. By which you mean? I won't tell you to go back anymore, so put the sword away. Thank you for your consideration. Reno still looked troubled. She had probably come to the realization that her guard was quite the handful. Okay, but you have to behave yourself, you can. Use this forest however you please. Understood. For now, I'll give you a quick tour, follow me. The watchful Titi scattered to allow the two to pass, with a severe expression. Shin strode behind Reno as she led him through the forest. Page 6-1, a peaceful fight. The blacksmith and appraisal shop, Wind of the Sun. After ending the war between Dilhade and Asian, returned home for Mom's homemade dinner, was accompanied by all the usual suspects with the added bonus of Eleanor. Oh, thank goodness, Mom said between sniffs. Her teary eyes were red from crying. They said Asian and Dilhade were going to war, yet you and your friends were all in Garrodite for your exchange. There was no word from the Demon King Academy, so I was beside myself. What if you were all caught in the war? Was so worried. Told you it'd be all right, did I? Said Dad. Anos wouldn't do anything to worry us. Yup, that's right. Believed the whole time that our Anos would come home safe. Mom sniffed again, barely managing to hold back her tears. Dad chuckled at her reaction. Speaking of which, Anos, where did you guys go after the war broke out? You wouldn't have been able to stay at the Hero Academy, so were you hiding somewhere? Or maybe you used that power of yours to make it back yourself. Should have expected nothing less from Dad. We were in the Tola Forest. Oh, see, the Tola 4, hold on a second. With a confused look on his face, Dad tilted his head. Thought the Tola Forest was on the border between Asian and Dilhade. They said on the Magicast that it was the front line of the battle. Mom added nervously, looking at me. Mom, Dad, want you to calm yourselves and listen. Now was the right time to tell them. See, calm, I'm always calm, Mom exclaimed with enthusiastic nods. She didn't appear very calm at all. All right, I'm always cool and collected. Dad was trembling from head to toe. It was hard to say why he was so shaken. Let's wait until you're both a little calmer. In this state, you won't be. Page 7, Golden Agato, MP4 directs, comeable to accept reality. No, it's okay, Anos. Think I know what you're going to say. Mom gave me a determined look. Your mom already knows. Knows what? That you're not a normal child. Supposed a lot had happened in a rather short period of time, even. Mom had to have realized something was up. The reason you wanted to come to Dilhade, the reason you asked to attend the Demon King Academy, the reason you were born knowing your own name. None of those were coincidences, were they? Mom asked, readying herself. That's why it's okay, you can tell me, already prepared. Mom was strong, she may have seemed clueless, but she actually kept a closer eye on me than anyone else did. I'm going to say it then. Okay. That said, it isn't that big of a deal. First, should let you know what it was doing out there. Mom locked eyes with me. She was ready to accept the truth. It was stopping the war. Mom fainted. Dad caught her before she hit the ground. Hey, Isabella, are you all right? Ah, yes. What happened? Anos was about to say something important, and then, don't quite remember what happened. It seemed that Mom was experiencing a bout of spontaneous amnesia. I think I just had a bad dream, she said more to herself than anyone. Anos said he went to war, but that can't be true. He's only 3 months old. She was clearly rejecting reality. Perhaps opening with the war hadn't been the best approach. Let's change the topic. Mom, Dad, we've been living in Dilhade for a while. Now, you should know more about demons and about the war 2000. Years ago, so here's the thing you should know. Mom nodded with a serious expression. I'm the reincarnation of the demon king of tyranny. Mom fainted again. Oh, not again. Isabella, are you okay, Isabella? Get a hold of yourself, it's only a flesh wound. There is no wound, father. I just had another dream, Mom muttered deliriously. A dream in which Anos became the demon king of tyranny, the person who started the war. Page 8 Golden Agato, MP4 directs. Cometween Dilhade and Asian. Everyone was trying to sentence Anos as a war criminal. Mom was so shocked she'd fabricated memories while unconscious. This is all thanks to that fate-severing sword of yours, Sasha muttered too. Lay, do something. There's nothing can do about this, Lay said with a strained smile. But heroes are meant to be all smooth-talking, right? Can't you do something with your verbal sword of 3 races? The sword of 3 races has no effect against genuinely pure beings. Why don't you try using your magic eyes of destruction instead? Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I've already tried. My followers had already thrown up their white flags of surrender. Their hearts that had held strong amidst the recent battle had instantaneously given up. In the face of Mom, never, not even 2,000 years ago, had I met a more formidable opponent. Now, what was I to do? I know what you're trying to say, Anos. What? Mom's voice had interrupted my thoughts before it could come up. With a plan. You've got a new girl. Mom's gaze settled on Eleanor. Huh, Eleanor, who had been looking around curiously, noticed my mom staring right at her. Whoa, do you mean me? Mom nodded, grinning. This was bad. She'd taken hold of the situation. Mom, I've not finished telling. And what did our Anos say to convince you to come back here, Eleanor? Mom asked with suspicion, glancing at me. He, kinda said a lot. A lot. At that moment, could see Mom's delusions flap their wings and take flight into the peaceful sky. Like what did he say? He said I'm his magic now. Nuuo Anos's pickup lines are getting more refined, Mom shrieked. Dad slammed his hand against the table, quivering as he turned my way. Why you? When did you become such a pro? Mom leaned closer to interrogate Eleanor further. What else? What else did he say? Eleanor looked thoughtfully up at the ceiling, then held up her index finger. Page 9 Golden Agato MP4 directs. Well, in short, he said he'd make me and those who rely on me happy, and when I knew he was being serious about it, decided to follow him. Dad's jaw was practically scraping the floor as he slowly turned to face Mom. Those who rely on her. There was a vacant look in Mom's eyes, as secret love children. Forget severing our fate, all reason had been abolished. How many children do you have? Mom asked. What, oh, you mean Zeshia, around 10,000 maybe. 10,000. What? Mom and Dad's screams propelled each of them down a very different path. But 10,000 can't be right, can it? Our Anos couldn't have conceived them all right. All right, 10,000 would mean, assuming a success rate of 10%. Doing it at least 100,000 times. Dad clenched his fists and gritted his teeth. That kind of experience makes me more than just envious. Of course he'd notice it was impossible to conceive 10,000 children the natural way. They were obviously a product of magic. I was going to explain that later, but have no intention of making excuses. They are all my responsibility. Plan on looking after every last one of them. Child support, Dad muttered with a grave expression. You are a man. Amongst men Anos. Shall atone for my mistakes. Mistakes, your mistakes, when you're only 3 months old. Mom shook her head, swaying on the spot. Oh, but what do you want to do? Eleanor, will you have him take responsibility and marry you? Her responsibility, heh, don't need anything like that. You don't. Eleanor chuckled at Mom's panic. Think you too might be misunderstanding something here. We're not like that. Anos is just being kind. To me. A mistress, Mom cried out and fainted for the third time. Whoa there, Dad caught her before she slipped out of her chair. And we were in the middle of an important discussion, too. Well, she has been tense. All day from the war and whatnot. Let's let her sleep it off a little. Dad took Mom in his arms and carried her out of the living room. I'll help, said, starting after him. Page 10 Golden Agato MP4 directs. Come, it's fine. You've had a long day too. Rest up. All right. Just as I was about to turn around, Dad looked at me as though he wanted to say something. What's wrong, Dad? Asked. Oh, well, your mother was worked up today by the thought of you being dragged into war. She may have said some strange things, but she'll be back to her usual self tomorrow. I narrowed my eyes. She'd felt like the usual mom to me, but that also meant. Are you saying you understand me, Dad? About you being the demon king of tyranny and stopping the war, you mean? I nodded. Anos, Dad said with an unusually serious expression. There's something I've been keeping from you. What is it? Dad grimaced. The look he gave me was like nothing I'd ever seen from him before. I, too, was a warrior 2,000 years ago. What? Dad had reincarnated, too. The Dad standing in front of me. I couldn't feel any magic from him, even this close up. That could only mean one thing. He was using concealment magic that prevented my eyes from peering into the abyss. If he were that powerful, then he had to be someone I knew. It was hard to believe, but Lei was canon, so anything was possible. What was your name back then? Dad answered with the same serious expression. Gardalahipt, the king of the Oblivion Sword. I'd never heard of it. Do you know what they call this kind of thing in Asian? Dad asked. Smugly, a youth's grand delusion. There was no end to the reason being abolished here. Page 11 Golden Agato MP4 directs. Co 2, a toast to victory. What are you going to do now? Sasha asked with a sidelong glance. In the end, Mom and Dad hadn't listened to the truth, like Dad had said. They'd been too worked up over the war. Given enough time, they should eventually calm down enough to pay attention. As long as Mom believed the truth, Dad would soon follow. There was nothing more to do but wait it out. For now, I'll take a plate of that mushroom gratin before it gets cold. I can't believe you, Sasha muttered, appalled. Misha spooned some mushroom gratin from the dish and served it to me on a small plate. Is this enough? She asked. That's perfect, I said, taking the plate from Misha and dumping a large spoonful of gratin in my mouth. Nothing hits the spot better after stopping a war. Misha looked down in thought. Please don't talk about things like this as though they happen every day, Sasha said with a sigh. Misha nodded in agreement. How come there's no alcohol? Eleanor asked, scanning the table. Aren't we supposed to toast to victory in times like these? Unfortunately, neither of my parents drink, so we don't keep any alcohol at home. Wow, so healthy in that case. Eleanor drew a magic circle, then stuck her hand into the center of it to pull out 3 bottles of wine. Ta-da, holy Demira wine straight from Garrodite. It tastes as good as it gets. Sasha's eyes lit up at the sight of the bottles. Ooh, how thoughtful of you. I'll pour extra just for you, Sasha. Eleanor grabbed Sasha's cup and filled it to the brim. Who's next? She asked, continuing on to fill cups for everyone else. Once everyone had a cup in hand, asked, shall we make a toast then? After you, Misha said. Lei smiled at me. You're in charge. Right, lifted my cup up to a room of beaming faces. Thanks to Page 12 Golden Agato MP4 directs. Everyone's efforts, war with ASEAN has been safely averted. There are challenges left to face, but let's forget it all for now and enjoy the wine. To the victory of the Demon King's army. Cheers. Cheers. In one gulp, knocked back the wine in my cup. It was quite delicious. There was no better taste after protecting peace. Anos, will you be okay like that? Eleanor asked. This wine's pretty strong, you know. This much is no different than water. Wow, impressive. How about a refill then? She asked, waving the bottle. Sure. Holy Demira wine filled my cup. You know, you better not get carried away and end up drunk, Anos, Sasha said, turning to me with a flushed face. For some reason, she didn't sound as articulate as usual. You say that, but you're drunk already. Unfortunately for you, I'm the Witch of Destruction. Won't lose to mere alcohol. She leaned closer to Eleanor. Say, do you have anything else in there? Have fruit wine. Grape. Eleanor drew a magic circle and took out a bottle of grape wine. There was a limit to how much a storage circle could hold, so her carrying so much alcohol was a curious choice. Watch this, Anos, I'll prove I'm not drunk. Following her loud declaration, Sasha grabbed the grape wine in one hand and the Holy Demira wine in the other. She then tilted the bottles, tipping the contents into a single cup. This is another secret art of the Necron family, the fusion spell, cocked ale. She was completely drunk, no matter how strong Holy Demira wine was. Could a single cup really have had such an effect? The drunkard, with no awareness of her own tolerance for alcohol, happily brought her cup of cocked ale to her mouth. Don't drink that, swiped Sasha's cup from her hand. Ah, what are you doing? Are you saying I'm drunk? Sasha moaned, slurring her words. Positively. Page 13 Golden Agato MP4 directs. Ugh, said I'm not drunk, so I'm not drunk. Even showed you my fusion magic, did I? That certainly was how she normally spoke. I said I'm not. All right. Anyway, that's a nice-looking drink you've made there. Can I have it? Really's okay, then. Troubled by her antics, knocked back the cocked ale and shuddered. It was bad. I'd never in my existence tasted anything that bad before. It seemed there were just some things that should never be mixed. Time for another taste of the family secret. Sasha began pouring the two wines into another cup. What are you doing, Sasha? I'm trying to get you drunk, Sasha replied, bringing the cup of cocked ale back to her mouth. Took the cup from Sasha. Your words contradict your actions. Anos won't let me drink, Sasha grumbled. Good grief. Just as I said that, a cup of water appeared beneath my nose. Missa signaled with her eyes. Drink this wine instead, said, handing the cup to Sasha, who accepted it with both hands and stared closely at the liquid. This wine looks like water. That's because it was. It's good wine. Really? Sasha gulped down half the cup, then tilted her head. It tastes like water. You have to savor the taste. It's a fine wine. If you can't tell that much, then you must be drunk. Sasha obediently took slow sips of the water, attempting to distinguish its flavor. Then she nodded as though she understood. It really does taste good. What's the name of this wine? Water. Demon King wine. It's exceedingly rare to come by. I like it. Sasha began sipping her water with the elegance of appreciating a fine wine. Sasha's a silly drunk, Misha whispered. Page 14 Golden Agato MP4 directs. Can see that. Misha was holding her own cup that she was drinking steadily from. Can you hold your alcohol, Misha? I'm using ice. Alcohol was the same as poison. Either could be removed if one tried. Hey, now you shouldn't do that, Misha, Eleanor said, pointing a finger in Rebuke. Using detoxification magic at a drinking party ruins all the fun. Misha blinked in confusion. Alcohol makes me feel fuzzy. That's good. The fuzziness makes you cuter. Misha looked at me. Really? It's my first time hearing of it, I said. Hey, you're meant to say yes there. Apparently, Misha wasn't the only one being chided. Alcohol dulls the senses, responded. The weak have no reason to be. Drinking themselves silly. Don't know what you, Eleanor, mean about. Appearing cuter, but that's not something you need to rely on alcohol for. Wow, you're so boring. No one was asking for the whole Demon Kings. Speech, you know. Eleanor snickered, waggling her finger on the surface. She seemed to be her usual self, but was she in fact drunk as well? Go on, Misha, she said. The world's at peace now, so you can get as drunk as you want. Anos isn't used to peace, so we have to be the ones to teach him. Misha glanced at me and then looked back at Eleanor. Guess I'll try it. She mumbled, bringing the holy Demira wine to her lips, without any detoxification magic. Her face grew gradually more flushed. Anos. You okay? Misha nodded, peaceful. What is? She pointed at herself. Me. Alas, she was drunk. My head's fuzzy. Don't drink too much. Yeah. Misha sipped at her drink sparingly, heeding my words. What are you drinking, Misha? Is it good? Sasha asked, staggering up too. Her sister. It's good. Is there any left for me? Page 15, Golden Agato.